one of those myths I've heard out there is the more followers you've got, the more revenue you make, or the more profits you make.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? It's about how engaged your audience are rather than the amount of followers you've got.
This is the Game Changers Experience. Deep dive conversations with leading business disruptors, Olympic athletes, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and influencers from around the world. This show will teach you insights about the winning principles in mindset, productivity, marketing, branding, entrepreneurship, business strategy, and more. Hosted by Productivity Authority, business strategist, former elite athlete, author, and public speaker, Adam Strong.
A lot of people say to me, you know, you've got great credibility, you should shout about it more. And actually, do you know what? I don't need to shout about it as much as I need to, because if you go on my LinkedIn, I've got everything that I claim. I've been on ITV, BBC, NATO. I've got all of the testimonials to really back my facts, which is great.
Yep.
But when you look at some people online, when they're shouting about stuff, how can you then, if people then do that bit of research about you, can that back up that claim? So, you know, if you are being held back because you're looking at what others are doing in your industry and they look better than what you're doing, you just be you. You know, people buy from people.
Yep.
Everyone is different. And you're not going to make everyone happy. And I saw a girl from Clubhouse, Natty, she put out a post, I think it was yesterday, and she said, you know, there could be 5 people in a row. The first person is your person. The other 4 is someone else's people, because, you know, you're not going to make everyone happy. And that's my answer to that. You know, build your own personal brand. Remember to be authentic, to come across as you, and don't try and be someone you're not, because when people do get you on the phone or face to face, can you still be that person that you say you are online? Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense. 100% makes sense. It sounds so simple in a conversation, but in reality, I can tell you now that people will still go back to their old habits, which is just kind of sad, really. Anyway, the other thing, and I suppose from a personal perspective, actually, and, you know, we talked about the fact that there is so much social media channels out there. You've got the likes of TikTok, you've got the likes of the traditional route to market, which is Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of that have been around for quite a number of years. How do you, when you have conversations with people around how to deal with overwhelm, because of you're kind of a little bit spoiled for choice in a way. How do you deal with overwhelm?
Yeah, and this is a big one. You know, I've got a membership site where I've got a lot of small businesses in there, and every time something new and shiny comes out, it's like, should I be on there? And, you know, that's not necessarily the case, because if you understand your strategy and know your audience, when you know your audience, you understand what platforms they're on and where they're engaging.
Yeah.
So that's one of the most important things when it comes to knowing what platforms you should be engaging on. So therefore, rather than trying to thinly spread yourself across too many, try and be on the ones where your audience are hanging out. Now, when that new platform brings out additional features, let's just take, for example, Instagram bringing out stories and reels, you know, IGTV, you know, my clients are like, well, should I do all of them? And I said, well, you know, do a bit of a survey. You know, some of them have got some really great community groups. And I say, go into that group and just say to them, are they using reels? And so one of them went in, she goes, I'm going to use reels. She goes, but I haven't got time, but I'm going to do it. And I said, well, ask your community first. Anyway, she's gone into a community, says, you know, does anyone use reels? And people were like, what are reels? Her audience reels. And she was like, actually, now I see what you mean. Why am I going to go and waste time and resources on something where my audience aren't hanging out or don't even know what it is, when I could be spending that time on something else? So it's about really, once you know your audience, you'll know what platforms you should be present on. And a lot of people jump on these new additional features because it's going to increase their audience. and it's going to increase their engagement, but not necessarily with the right audience. And you know, one of those myths I've heard out there is the more followers you've got, the more revenue you make, or the more profits you make.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? It's about how engaged your audience are rather than the amount of followers you've got.
Sure.
And you know, that's my sort of response to that, Adam. But yeah, I think, you know, you got to be strategic with it.
You know, hey guys, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I would love to hear from you guys. Please do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and click on the notification bell button below so that you don't miss out on some of the episodes that we've got coming up. Also, please make a comment in the comment section below. We are reaching out to some of our listeners so that we can get to an understanding about how we can personalize some of the great content that we got coming out based on your needs and aspirations. Another word of advice as well is to go to our amazing Facebook community where you can meet other creative entrepreneurs and business owners. Introduce yourself, say hi, mention about some of the amazing breakthroughs that you're getting through some of the episodes, and network, right? Grow your business. You are with who you become with the 5 most common people you hang around with. So listen, guys, hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll see you on the next episode. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.